Joining us on the Guadalupe Radio Network to talk about an exciting addition to the Church of the Annunciation in downtown Houston is the pastor, Father Paul Felix. Father Felix, welcome back to the KSHJ studio. Glad you're here.
Thank you so much. It's great to be back with you, Wyatt.
You know, I talk on this program, Father Felix, to priests about all different kinds of subjects, their own vocation stories we've talked about in the past. Not very often, though, I talk about a parking garage blessing and dedication. Usually the parking garage is not as exciting of a term, but in this particular case, for the Church of the Annunciation in downtown right next to the ballpark, for people who are looking for parking spots for Mass, this is a game changer.
It really is. You know, Annunciation is the oldest church in continuous use of any faith in Houston, and it's a mother parish of all the Catholic parishes in Houston. And so many people have their roots at Annunciation. It's just amazing.
Right.
But I've been pastor there now for a little more than 12 years. And over the years, I keep hearing this refrain, you know, Annunciation is such a beautiful place, and you have so many wonderful things that are happening there and everything, but there's no place to park.
Right.
And we realized and could see what was going on in our area in downtown and how parking was becoming more and more difficult. Right. And we realized that it was very, very important for the mission, both of our parish church, the Church of the Annunciation, and our neighbors, the Incarnate Word Academy, which is owned and operated by the Sisters of the Incarnate Word. And we formed a joint venture, and over a lengthy period of time, negotiating, working it all out. And finally, we've come to where we've actually built a multi-level parking garage. It's going to have over 300 spaces for parking, and it's going to be able to provide parking for people coming to the church for our activities, as well as people going to the school for their activities. And it'll be free for those purposes.
And I know, Father Felix, you guys have been working on this for many years. I mean, it has been in works, and again, working with the Sisters of the Incarnate Word, making sure everything's up to speed. I know it's a big deal because our new Archbishop, Joe Vasquez, is going to be there for the dedication, the blessing, sort of the ribbon cutting, if you will.
We're really excited about that.
Yeah, which is coming up Tuesday, August 26th, but that's an important date because after that date, that morning, Tuesday, August 26th, basically the parking garage is open for people who want to come to either Incarnate Word Academy or Church of the Annunciation.
That is correct.
Yeah.
And it's going to, I think, you know, after COVID and everything that happened following COVID and just the drop-off in attendance in churches in general and so forth. But we've kept on, you know, we've kept doing the regular activities and a lot of very special events and so forth. But again, it's been difficult because of the lack of parking. Now I think it really is going to be a game changer, pun intended, relative to the baseball stadium across the street.
Right. There you go. And I know you got to be careful about that, though. You want to have enough space for Mass, but other people may try to use it. Like I said, there's so much demand for parking in downtown. So I know it's something you have to be very careful of. So then for people who are coming to Mass, people who are familiar with Church of the Annunciation, Father, which street are you pulling into the parking garage from?
Well, the entry and exit for the parking garage is on Capitol Street.
Capitol Street, okay.
Yes.
Want to make sure.
So it's very accessible, and as you know, Annunciation is very accessible from all the different freeways that cross through downtown.
Right.
And it's you know, all things considered, it's pretty easy to get in and out.
Yeah, very good. So again, taking note of that, the fact that after Tuesday, August 26th, for the dedication and blessing by Archbishop Joe Vasquez, the parking garage will be open. I'm sure Incarnate Word Academy is also excited because it's school time as well. Yes. And so I'm sure lots of parents will be using the parking garage as well. You had mentioned, Father Felix, how you guys at the Church of the Annunciation have many programs, invite a lot of people from all over the Houston area to come. One initiative that I remember you've been working on the last little while, at least last year or so, has been the Rosary Center.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that for people who are unfamiliar.
Yes, we started the Annunciation Rosary Center, yes, as you say, a little more than a year ago. And I just realized that there are numerous telltale signs that people are not really praying. They're not learning how to pray. And so we thought it would be very, very important to help teach people how to pray the rosary and to foster a general spirit of prayer among all of our people in the first place, but then also be on mission to help evangelize and teach people how to pray through the rosary. And so the basic prayers, the Our Father, the Hail Mary, the Glory Be, etc., are so important. And then meditating on those mysteries of the Rosary is really kind of like a fifth gospel, And so it's a wonderful, very ready, easy way of proclaiming the gospel and helping people have access to God. I think a lot of people are afraid to try to pray because they just don't know. Nobody's mentored them. Nobody's taught them. Unfortunately, I think in a lot of homes, people are not praying. Families are not praying together. And I believe so firmly that praying, and especially praying the Rosary, is so important for personal healing for people with the woundedness of various kinds of things going on in the world, but also healing of marriages, healing of families, and on the one hand, the healing, but then also the inspiration and the receptivity to the grace. And, as you meditate upon the mysteries of the Rosary, you're witnessing really the very events of salvation history, extraordinary, amazing things that are interventions on the part of God for helping people and sanctifying people and inspiring them. And I believe so firmly that we can be inspired by that and graced by that. And to me, it's so important that we ask for our needs, but we also listen to God, as we're praying the Rosary. And the beautiful aspect of that is that it has this contemplative dimension to it. And we can go to the Lord, present Him, and with the aid of the Blessed Mother, who's always interceding for us. It's always good to ask, right? But then also to listen. And as Our Lady really didn't have a lot of words, she said throughout the Gospels, nevertheless, she teaches us how to be good disciples to the Lord. And so we believe, I do, and those associated with me, we want to connect all of the prayer groups in the Archdiocese and get everybody kind of in communication with each other and working together to promote the Rosary. So we're calling on people to make a twofold basic commitment. The first commitment is make a personal prayer to pray the Rosary daily, if possible. Whatever's realistic and possible for people. We're not asking more than what people can reasonably do. But then the second commitment is a commitment to become an ambassador or an evangelist with the Rosary to others. And so to help give people rosaries, to introduce them to the Rosary, to teach them to pray the Rosary, give them little pamphlets that help them to have the guidance and know how to do it. And then form associations. There are the spiritual benefits that the Church offers. For example, the grants of indulgences, either partial or plenary indulgences. And praying in group, praying the Rosary together in group, people, if they meet all the criteria, can receive plenary indulgences. That's a huge windfall, huge windfall. And yet how few of our people really have an awareness of these things. Right. So if you go to our Annunciation website, acchtx.org, and then we have, you can scroll down and find the tab for the Annunciation Rosary Center, and we have a lot of links where people can go and access videos to learn how to pray the Rosary. We have them in English and Spanish, Vietnamese, Latin, and so there's a lot of resources on there. There's also references to books that you can order and things like that.
And I know there's been a lot of people, churchgoers and parishioners at the Church of the Annunciation, who have had a love for the Rosary for a long time. Yes. So this seems to be sort of a natural step in that regard, just to be able to let people know. And I agree with you also, Father Felix, about just the basic prayers. The Our Father, the Hail Mary, the Glory Be, that some of that is just lost in our own families, just in our homes nowadays, people being able to say the basic prayers. So in some cases, it's a reminder to people, or in some cases, let them know if they've never known these are basic prayers you can pray every day.
Absolutely. And why, with the baseball stadium directly across the street from us, sometimes some of these kind of cult groups will get out there on the street with a bullhorn, and they're telling people you're going to go to hell because you like baseball, stuff. It's amazing. And they bash Catholicism and so forth. We go out and we have a Catholic information table, and we're just there available to talk to people. And we're saying, hey, have a great time of the game. God bless you, Right. But one of the things we're also doing is the third Saturday. First of all, we have the first Saturday devotion on the first Saturday of the month, at our 8 a.m. Mass, and following the Mass, we do the devotion so people can participate in that and be able to go to Mass, receive Holy Communion. It's a wonderful opportunity. But then on the third Saturday of the month, after the Mass, we go over to Discovery Green, and we walk around Discovery Green and pray the Rosary. We walk around the perimeter. It's not a protest. It's not a demonstration. It's loving, charitable prayer. And it's bringing it, there's a saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. We have the right to practice our religion, and we're not to be closed in behind the four walls of our church. We have the right to go out into the public square, and it's such an important and necessary and valuable thing for our society. And again, we're bringing prayer. So our experience is that people are passing by, and we invite them to join us. We give them a rosary if they'd like a rosary, or a little brochure to pray the rosary. And so often people will say, "Thank you for doing this. This is just so great." And so we're being received very well. We're respectful of other people. We're not getting in people's faces, etc. But we're just there doing it, and it's something that is, I think, making a contribution to the atmosphere of the setting here in the heart of downtown Houston, the soon-to-be third largest city of the nation.
Right.
And so the church has to be missionary. We have to be evangelizing, and we're not saying, "Come look at us." We're saying, "Come and join us."
Right.
And enter into this awareness of the fact that we're creatures of body and soul, and that there's a supernatural outlook to things, and the life of faith, the life of grace, the life of prayer is just so important. So let's help each other in this.
And I was going to ask you about that because there's such power in a Catholic procession, because every Mass we begin with a procession in, and then your idea about being able to process around streets of downtown for a rosary procession can be immensely powerful in building up both the Catholic community as well as the wider community of Houston. And so I'm glad that for the most part you guys have received a very positive response.
And at the conclusion of Mass, the dismissal is "Ite missa est."
Right.
Go, you are sent.
Right, sent forth.
You're on mission. That's
Right.
what the word mission derives from, mise. Huh? And so, and think about that. That's a graced mission. It's a mission empowered and driven by the Holy Spirit. And so, it's ordinary, everyday people who have faith and have humility and have charity, and it's just so edifying. Families come with children. The children are beautiful in their witness of faith and praying the rosary, and it's just wonderful.
Yeah. Even as the children are learning too, trying to figure out the exact prayers and everything. That's great. Speaking of things that are spiritually edifying, you are leading a Rome and Holy Land pilgrimage coming up in November, from November 3rd to November 15th. You're doing a 13-day Rome and Holy Land pilgrimage. Time is running out, though, so if people want to get in on this and they haven't been to some of these holy sites before, sounds like you got a really exciting opportunity coming up.
It's a great opportunity. And August, here in the month of August is when we really need to get the commitments finalized. But I'm a priest knight of the Order of the Holy Sepulchre of Jerusalem, and the work of the order is to help support the church and Christians to be able to live and remain there in the birthplace of our faith, where all our Lord lived out his earthly life, Our Lady, the apostles, etc. And there's so much it went in the Old Testament and the Gospels, the New Testament, and so powerful to actually go there and see the places. If you go, you'll never read the Scriptures the same way again, because you've seen it. You are able to put things in context. And, of course, when pilgrims go, we all have things that we take with us, prayers, needs, intentions, etc. Yeah. And a pilgrimage group is a group that is going on mission, seeking and finding, and finding these coming to new realizations, answers to needs and questions, and so forth. And so we'll go to It'll start in the north of the country, the greener area of the country, Tiberias, the Sea of Galilee, and where our Lord was based at Capernaum for 3 years during his public ministry, and then we will we'll make our way down to the Dead Sea, the town of Jericho, and we'll go to Jerusalem, and so many of these holy places, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful discovery. Now,
well, I was going to say, the good part is, Father Felix, you yourself have been on these kinds of tours, pilgrimages, so you're familiar with many of these spots. You've been there before, and you kind of know the routine. So the good part is for people who want to go with a group, like you said, with this group from the Holy Sepulchre, or yourself, this one's upcoming, and maybe they've never been before. The good news is they can ask you a lot of questions. They can be like, okay, how does this work? And you've really thought about these sites. You know where you're going. I know that some people may be concerned about violence in the region, but these are the spots that everybody's pretty familiar with in terms of the tour group and being able to protect tourists.
And it's a pilgrimage of the Order of the Holy Sepulchre, but non-members can
go. So it's open to anybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, it's a great way to learn about the order too, and the work of the order.
Right.
But we're doing charitable works here, which is so important. And Christians coming helps enable the Christians who are living there in the midst of the difficult conditions to be able to earn a living, and to maintain that Christian presence. At the same time, we're able to continue to support the Christian witness in a land that is. Has so many challenges, but I spoke with the woman who's in charge of the organizing of pilgrimages going to the Holy Land for the Order of the Holy Sepulchre, and she told me that we're going nowhere near the violence that's been going on. Mm-hmm. So of course the utmost care will be taken for safety and security. Yeah. But really the places we're going are respected and safe, and so
they're used to all the people coming from different countries
yes.
to come there as on a pilgrimage.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good. That's good to know. And again, just credit to everybody here in the greater Houston area for people who are members of the Order of the Holy Sepulchre that are doing the work to try to, again, build up that Christian community in the Holy Land, which, like I say, always is under pressure of some kind, whether it's pressure just to be able to feed and live, feed their families, or be able just to travel. Sometimes travel is very restricted in the Holy Land as well. So it's a good reminder just to be able to pray for all of those Christian communities in the Holy Land.
You'll be able to learn so much more about our faith by being there and putting the scriptures and the historical events in context from Old Testament all the way through. And at the same time, then there's that spiritual aspect of prayer, reflection. We'll have daily Mass, of course, and we'll have prayer throughout as we're traveling and on the bus from going from place to place. And the camaraderie is great, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful experience.
Very good. So all the stuff that you and I have been talking about, Rosary Center, the upcoming blessing for the parking garage, as well as the Rome and Holy Land pilgrimage, is all on your website. It's Church of the Annunciation, so people can Google that. Downtown Houston, Church of the Annunciation. Give me, Father, the URL for the website.
It's acchtx.org.
Okay, so it stands for Annunciation Catholic Church, ACC.
Houston, that's right. Annunciation Catholic Church, Houston, Texas.org. Okay. acchtx.org.
I appreciate your clarifying that, because I know a lot of people will just put in an Annunciation Church and they get all sorts of things, in the Google response.
The Greek Orthodox Cathedral is Annunciation.
Right. So we got to clarify. Yeah, Catholic Church of the Annunciation, downtown Houston, right next to the ballpark. So very good. Well, again, we appreciate all these initiatives that you're doing and continuing to work on, you as well as all the staff, the parishioners there at Church of the Annunciation, and the regular supporters. We appreciate it. And again, many blessings to you guys. You move forward there. It's an exciting time.
Thank you so much. It is an exciting time, and we've worked so hard to get to this point, and we're looking forward to great things flowing out of all of this with God's help and in the beautiful spirit of charity. So if you've never been to Annunciation, come and visit us. We're have this great, rich history, the beautiful architecture. And if you think the church is beautiful on the outside, wait till you go in the inside. You really perceive the presence of the Lord.
Yep.
And it's such a house of prayer and faith.
Very good. Excellent. Father Paul Felix, pastor, Church of the Annunciation, downtown Houston. Thanks very much. We appreciate you being with us again.
Thank you, Wyatt. God bless you, and God bless all of your listeners.